Thank you and welcome to the 14th Annual Pittsburgh High School Holiday Vespers. This event began long ago as an effort to increase collaboration across Pittsburgh High School music department ensembles. It has grown both in size and scope from a simple shared winter concert with a few combined pieces between the band and choir in the Pittsburgh High School auditorium to this massive event which includes nearly 200 students, community members, and staff from the PHS vocal music program, band program, and string program, as well as the wonderful Bells of the Balkans, which you just heard. Our opening number, Rejoice and Be Merry, was actually performed on the second annual Holiday Vespers. Sir John Rutter sets an old English text to create a modern-day Christmas carol. It is a bright and cheery way to begin our concert tonight, and it truly embodies the spirit of Pittsburgh High School Vespers by offering such a great collaborative opportunity between the band, the choir, and our friends, the Bells of the Balkans. This year's Vespers program is called Stocking Stuffers, because we wanted to take a year, honestly, to depart from any sort of thematic constraints. We decided to just take anything that we could and wrap up with a neat little thematic bow and place it on one concert, so you're going to get quite the variety tonight. Toward the end of the 19th century, the brothers James Weldon Johnson and John Rosamond Johnson wrote Lift Every Voice and Sing, which became a beloved hymn of the African American community. Though sung at many marches and protests in the civil rights era of the 1960s and 70s, the song was written in 1899, when Black people's voting rights were being subverted through state laws, mob violence, and the terrors of lynchings. The song was performed in 1900 by 500 Black students from the segregated Stanton School in Jacksonville, Florida. The lyrics are a prayer of thanksgiving, celebrating the emancipation of slaves, and invoking the biblical exodus from slavery and the struggle of the journey to the freedom in the promised land.
Ring with the heart. Judah Maccabee is a famous oratorio by George Friedrich Handel, composed in 1746, telling the Old Testament story of the Jewish Maccabean revolt against Syrian oppression, with libretto by Thomas Morell. Initially written to celebrate British victory at the Battle of Culloden, it became a powerful symbol of Jewish resilience, featuring rousing choruses like "See the Conquering Hero Comes," which is now a popular Hanukkah song. Adapted from its original triumphalism, tonight's performance of the chorus from Judah Maccabee will feature our very own wonderful viola section. Thank you.
Like we mentioned before, you never know what's going to come out of this stocking next. From Old English carols to songs of resilience, resistance, and strength, to now, the music of Irish New Age musician, Enya. White is in a Winter Night offers a series of images, common in the season. It is a song that elicits peace, joy, and comfort. Tonight's performance will feature Girls Glee and our string orchestra.
Thank you everyone for being here tonight. Our next selection will feature our wonderful string orchestra. Samuel Coleridge Taylor's Christmas Overture was published posthumously in 1925. It was originally conceived as part of the incidental music for a children's play. For those of you who don't know what incidental music is music that happens in the background. There's nothing sung to it or anything like that. It merely accompanies a scene. It now survives as this interesting, almost cinematic setting of carols. Following the performance of Samuel Coleridge Taylor's Christmas Overture, we will take a very brief moment to reset the stage.
performances come from student-led small ensembles from the band program. The first will be a performance of an arrangement of the opening motivate material, Beethoven's famous Fifth Symphony. Tonight's performance will be conducted by our very own Evo Group. Following the clarinet ensemble, our flute quintet will perform a little minuetto by German flautist and composer Heinrich Sussman. Finally, we venture away from our classical period chamber music to something much more modern. Parade of the Penguins is a quirky little composition for percussion ensemble by Kansas composer and educator Stuart P. O'Neill. We hope you enjoy the next two performances. of the evening is brought to you by the letter P. Please join me in applauding the Pittsburgh Percussion Party in the performance of Parade of the Penguins by Stuart E. O'Neill.
While the band comes onto stage, I'd like to take a quick moment to thank the awesome staff here at Memorial Auditorium and Convention Center. Special thanks to Darcy, Jeff, Kyle, and Cole for not just today, but all of the hours that they've been putting in for USD 250 this week. Let's give it up for Memorial Auditorium. I would also like to thank all of the awesome people that I get to work with every single day that have helped make this concert successful. Delaney Vogren, Brianna Clark, and Bob Lauschman, who you don't see in the program or on stage tonight, but they help way behind the scenes on everything. So let's give it up for those three people. This semester, we have been very fortunate to have a tremendous student teacher in Mr. Omar Trujillo. Mr. Trujillo has done a wonderful job bringing enthusiasm, passion, and humor to all of his rehearsals. We are very sad to see him go, but we are excited that he will be headed out into the field. He's going to do great things. Tonight, Mr. Trujillo will conduct one of his favorite arrangements of the classic holiday melody, Greensleeves. It is generally agreed that the melody we know as Greensleeves is probably the second oldest piece of secular music in our Western culture. Its origins having been traced back to about 1360. While we are not certain this was the original title, it is known that in the latter 14th century, English ladies wore gowns with great billowing sleeves, and the lyrics that have come down to us speak of a lover's lament over his lady's cruel treatment of him by a lady clad in a dress of green sleeves. So it's kind of sad. It's a real bummer. And you know, what would a Cooper Neal Vespers be without a tune that really bummed us out after all? By the time of William Shakespeare, this song had already become a classic, and he made use of it in two of his plays, most notably in The Merry Wives of Windsor. Over 300 years later, the English composer Ralph Vaughan Williams used this melody as an intermezzo between two acts of his opera, Sir John in Love, which was based on the very same play. Since then, the tune has been adapted as the basis for at least one Christmas carol, What Child Is This?, and several popular songs, and even by the Swingle Singers on one of their albums. In addition, it has been performed instrumentally by groups of all sizes and styles, from full symphony orchestra to small jazz and rock groups. Please help me welcome to the stage Mr. Omar Trujillo.
selection tonight, we would like to welcome back Encore. We have had a wonderful time with you this evening, digging through some music that you'll never likely hear programmed together in the same evening again. I hope that all of your stockings are as exciting and diverse as this evening has been. Meridian comes very much of Norwegian composer Ola J-Lo's love for ostinato, or group-based music. Other diverse influences include the world music-infused jazz of Keith Jarrett and Jan Garbarek, as well as the symphonies of Shostakovich. This exciting and creative work is written with a constant rhythmic drive throughout and features a prominent role for piano. We are excited, as always, to have the exquisite Susan Lauschman at the piano tonight. We hope that you enjoy Meridian by Ola J-Lo. And if you applaud enough, you might get a special performance after.
you everyone. Thank you everyone for coming out tonight. We wish you happy holidays, happy New Year's, and clean up after yourselves. Have a good night, everybody.
Santa, tell me if you're really there. Don't make me fall in love again if he won't be here next year. Santa, tell me if he really cares, 'cause I can't give it all away if he won't be here next year. Feeling Christmas all around, and I'm trying to play it cool, but it's hard to focus when I see him walking across the room. Let it snow is blasting now, but I won't get in the mood. I'm avoiding every mistletoe until I know it's true. Love that he thinks of, so next Christmas I'm not all alone, boy. Santa, tell me if you're really there. Don't make me fall in love again if he won't be here next year. Santa, tell me if he really cares, 'cause I can't give it all away if he won't be here next year. I've been down this road before, fell in love on Christmas night, but on New Year's Day I woke up and you wasn't by my side. Now I need someone to hold, be my fire in the cold, but it's hard to tell if this is just a fling or if it's true. Love that he thinks of, so next Christmas I'm not all alone, but Santa, tell me if you're really there. Don't make me fall in love again if he won't be here next year. Santa, tell me if he really cares, 'cause I can't give it all away if he won't be here next year. Oh, I wanna have him beside me like on the 25th by the fireplace, but I don't want no broken heart. This year I've got to be smart. Oh, baby, if you want me here, Santa, tell me if you're really bad. 'Cause I'm really fall in love again if he won't be here next year. Santa, tell me if he really cares. Tell me, 'cause I can't give it all away if he won't be here next year. Santa, tell me if you're really bad. Don't make me fall in love again if he won't be here next year. Santa, tell me if he really cares. 'Cause I can't give it all away if he won't be here next year.
Dog goes woof, cat goes meow, bird goes tweet, and mouse goes squeak. Cow goes moo, frog goes croak, and the elephant goes toot. Ducks say quack, and fish go blub, and the seal goes ow, ow, ow. But there's one sound that no one knows. What does the fox say? Ding 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 ding. What the fox say? Pop 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 pop. Pop 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 pop. Pop 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 pop. What the fox say? Happy 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 ho. Happy 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 ho. Happy 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 ho. What the fox say? Yup 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 yup. chasing mice and digging holes. Tiny paws up the hill. Suddenly you're standing still. Your fur is red, so beautiful, like an angel in disguise. But if you meet a friendly host, will you communicate by Morse? How will you speak to that? What does the frog say? What the frog say? What the fuck say? What the fuck say? What does the frog say? The secret of the frog